So cylinders and cones, when we're finding the surface area of those, we're still using the same formulas, but with a cylinder and cone, they actually have their own special equations. So we've got this cylinder here, which has a height of capital H, so that's still the same, and then the radius. And so to find the surface area of this, we need to know two things. We need to know the area of the base and the perimeter. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. So will be 2 pi r squared. And then the perimeter of a circle is the circumference. So 2 pi r. And that still is multiplying by h. So this is the formula for the surface area of any cylinder. So for example, if I had a cylinder that was like that, and I was giving the whole length here, which is 20, then that means that the radius would actually be 10, because the radius goes from the center to the edge, whereas this is going all the way across. So if the radius is 10, let's say that this is 7, then the surface area, and that does not look like it's equal. Let's try and let's change this up to 37 so it kind of looks like it's the right size. So we've got 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 10 squared, plus 2 times 3.14 times the radius times capital H, which is 37. So keep in mind, capital H is very tempting to think that it's the traditional height of a circle of anything. So like typically we think of H as going up and down, but just like how capital B is not always on the bottom, it's the same idea. We're looking for how far apart the two circles are, and the two circles are on the top and the bottom like this. So the capital H is going left and right like that. So you would just type this into your calculators to get this total surface area of the figure. So I'm going to use my Google calculator again. So that's 10 and 37. So 2 times 3.14 times 10 squared. Where did that one go? X to the power of 2. And then plus 2 times 3.14 times 10 times 37. So 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So we get 2,951.6. And I didn't give any units, so I'm just going to do units squared. Whenever you don't have the units, you can just do units. Use the word units. All right, with a cone, similar idea. So we have the radius, and we have the slant height. So we know what the slant height is. We just need to use the area of the base and the perimeter. So the area of the base is, again, pi r squared. The L, I like to put it at the end, because then when I do 2 pi r for the perimeter of the base, then it's in the front. Usually we do pi after the coefficient and then the other variables after that. But this is still divided by 2, so we can cancel those 2's out. And we'll get the surface area formula for a cone is pi r squared plus pi r l. So the way I remember the surface area of a cone is that this phrase I always like to think of as pearl, because it spells that out. Pi is pi, pi, and then you have RL, pearl. So that's another way to remember, just for a cone. So it's not the same for a cylinder. So once again, we have our radius. So if I were given a cone like this, oops, okay, let's try that again. And I was given this length is 5, and this length is 15, even though it doesn't really look like it. The surface area would be 3.14 for pi times r5 squared plus 3.14 times 5 times 15. So we're looking at 5 and 15. Pi times 5 squared plus a pi r l. Oops. So I got, oh, look at that, 314. That's kind of nice. And so we get the surface area, which is 314. Didn't give units, so we'll just do again, units squared. That's how we tackle it with cylinders and cones.